Please, God.
This is God.
This right here, especially for being something that was made in the 80s, man, this movie was really ahead of its time. It's one of my favorite slasher movies, so let's just get right into it. A Nightmare on Elm Street follows a group of teenagers who become targets of an undead serial killer who seeks to murder them through their dreams. So this is one of my favorite horror slasher movies, right? And one of the reasons why I love this so much is that the special effects are just so good, especially for it being something that was made in the 80s, right? It's just the movie is very creative and immersive. And it's also something that the scenes in here really play on your childhood fears. They hit the nail on the head with that one. Now, I don't know what's worse, a monster that's under your bed or a monster that sucks you into it. So, something that I just loved about this movie is the blending between dreams and reality. It's very seamless, and I mean, just look, we just saw Johnny Depp get sucked into his own bed. I mean, just the stuff that you see in this movie, you just don't expect to happen. And look, if you're slight spoiler alert, if you're wondering if he survived, he's not going to be at the cookout. So I love moments like this where the movie messes with you psychologically. So another thing that I just really enjoyed when watching this movie is that they do a really good job of putting you into the perspective of someone that's actually in a nightmare. Like when I was a child, when I would have nightmares, right, nothing would ever be concrete. And what I mean by that is that, let's say, no one in a nightmare, no one would ever try to hunt me down and then stab me with a knife. Normally what would happen in a nightmare is if someone's hunting me down and they're about to stab me, with the knife, but the knife turns into a snake and then the snake bites me in the neck. You know what I mean? That's kind of like the vibe that this movie also kind of gives off, right? Because dreams, they're very fluid. They're not concrete. They're fluid and mind-bending. And I feel like this movie really did a good job of kind of portraying that on screen. So another thing that I just enjoyed about this movie is that Nancy, who the movie's basically centered around, she actually fights back when Freddy's trying to attack her. And I just appreciate that, right? She doesn't just let stuff happen to her. Look at the quick thinking.
After all.
So when I first saw this movie, I said, "Oh, this is actually really good." And I really recommend this movie. It definitely bends reality, but it's also a slasher. So, kind of the blend of those two makes it a really fun, unique ride. And look, there's some jump scares too. Like it'll get you. But overall, this movie is just a really fun, well done, really, really, really creative movie. Definitely check it out when you can.